What's going on, Sky Squad? What's going on? If you guys are arriving in the chatterization, please let me know if you guys can hear me in the chatterization. We're going to be discussing the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13, episode 16. And I'm just right now letting the texting community know that we are live and in full effect. So I'm sending out that notification right now. Give me 1 second, guys, for anybody that's joining in. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I hope you can. If you can, let me know. Let me know. I see those good comments coming in the building. Also, let us know where you guys are watching from. Y'all know I want to know. Y'all know I want to know. I want to know where you're watching from. So go ahead and get that information up on the screen while I send out this texting notification. Okay, that notification has just gone out. We about to do the doggone thing right now. Give me 1 second, guys. Just want to update this thumbnail real quick, and we about to get into some things, okay? All right, so we're going to be discussing Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13, episode 16. We are nearing the home stretch of this good season, y'all. And before we get into that, I want to know what you guys would rate the episode on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, for me, okay, I'm going to go ahead and rate this good episode. I'm going to give it a 9, okay? I'm going to give it a 9 because we didn't really get anything too crazy. We got a nice little Kenya Moore, Marlo, Hampton, and Porsha Williams confrontation. And it's not looking too good for these three ladies from here on out for the rest of the season. And we're going to discuss why they got into it all up in front of Big Freedom while they was trying to enjoy these booty-popping potatoes, okay? Because that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to know, how do you make these booty-popping potatoes? I know we got peppers, we got sausage, we got all kinds of other shrimps and things up in the good booty-popping potatoes. So that's what I was focused on. You already know. All right, so guys, give me what you would rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10. I gave it a 9, but I want to know what you guys think. Now, we got to go ahead and get into the episode, okay? Now, first things first, we got RHOA on the screen telling us that it's a hurricane coming. Now, you know it's serious when they done took RHOA, okay, from off of the morning show and got him up on that good news. Now, shout out to this, we got a super chat up in the building. Let me see who it was. I can't see it right here on this screen. Marcella, thank you so much. Marcella says, Happy Easter. Richie, thank you so much for that super chat. We appreciate you. Oh, side note, real quick. I ended up getting married here in that good Miami. So, thank you to all of those who have actually, wished me, congratulations and stuff like that. I appreciate you guys so much. I didn't want to take up too much of y'all time with that information, but I did want to let y'all know because y'all the squad and I feel like I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so Hurricane Zeta is a coming, okay? And here we are with yet another event on this show that is being disrupted by a hurricane. And I'm thinking to myself, y'all ain't want to plan these events a little bit better? Cynthia's wedding got the hurricane coming, okay? The girls' trip to New Orleans got a hurricane coming. It was a busy year for hurricanes in 2020, y'all, okay? It was quite a busy year for hurricanes. Anyway, the ladies are headed to dinner, okay? And Porsha brings up the conversation with Marlo and mentions how tired she is from the Zydeco dancing and the conversation with Marlo, okay? We got another super chat in the house. Let me see what it was. Remain Teachable says, miss you and the Sky Squad. Congratulations on the wedding. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate you. In my mind, when they was on the bus and they was both talking about how, tired they was from the conversation, I kind of was wondering why Porsha even brought it up in that moment, because it was kind of like, I felt like that moment was really between Porsha and Marlo, and I kind of didn't understand why she was regurgitating it again in front of the girls in order to give the girls something to talk about, because somebody was going to ask, well, why was the conversation so exhausting? And Cynthia's asking the questions, okay? But my thought is to Porsha, why bring it up? Okay, I just feel like if you want to keep that conversation and if you want to keep your friendship with, oh my God, thank you so much, Marcella. We appreciate you. Marcella sent another super chat. Oh my God, congratulations. Yes, we's married now. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate y'all. My question was, why bring it up? Okay. So we learned that the ladies are going to be cooking a meal with that good big Frida. They're doing the booty popping potatoes. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys happen to watch Big Frida's show. I think it was on Fuse. I think it was. I think you can still watch it on, if you have Amazon Prime, I think you can still find it on there. Anyway, there was a whole thing that they did about the booty popping potatoes. So I was happy to see this was being brought up on Real Housewives of Atlanta. We got another super chat in the house. Kim D says, congrats, boo. We want deets. I will give you guys the deets. So happy for you, my love. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. I'll tell you guys a little bit about it after we finish the episode, because I know a lot of people come for the tea and not necessarily all the details about my personal life, which are actually quite boring. But I'll give you guys some details in just a second. So the ladies are going to be cooking for Big Frida. Okay, they're doing the booty popping potatoes. I do note that Marlo and Porsha seem to be getting along in this moment. Okay, and I feel like the camera or the production team is doing a really good job of trying to focus us on the direction of Marlo and Porsha's friendship for some reason. And I think we're gonna see a lot more of this come to a head in the next episode, as well as at the reunion, from what I heard. Okay, so Kandi and Kenya, and it was mostly Kandi in this moment, questioned Marlo about the conversation that she had with Porsha. Now, Marlo admits that she asked Porsha about Bolo. She tells Kenya that Porsha says that she did not do anything with that good Bolo. And Marlo asks Kandi if she knows if Porsha did the do with Bolo too. Now, Kandi says that she doesn't feel like Porsha needs to speak on it. And Kandi also feels like Marlo is making this dramatic as if Porsha was either one of their girlfriends. Now, to me, I feel like this is again where Marlo is kind of foul in this situation, because I feel like, to me, it's like this. If you claim to want to be friends with Porsha, why do you keep bringing up something that you know she might be embarrassed about on camera? It's kind of like you keep bringing up this whole Bolo situation. You're saying in one breath that you want to be friends with her, she's hurting you, but in the next breath, you're kind of like, but did you do it? Kandi, what you know? You know what I'm saying? And Kandi's kind of like, I mean, y'all not dating this girl, so why do y'all care so much about who did what in the room with Bolo, especially if it wasn't you? I'm so tired of talking about this. It's been umpteen episodes later and we still on this Bolo situation. I can't even understand why. It's so frustrating to me. Bonita Howard, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. Congrats to you both, she says. 1979 Cashville, $5. Thank you so much for that. Congratulations as well. And I just feel like, and thank you guys all, but I just feel like Marlo is being very, very messy in this situation. And I feel like it's not genuine. This whole situation with Marlo is not genuine at all. So as we move on, okay, Big Frida blesses the meal. And then Marlo has another messy moment where she says, hypothetical question. Basically, this whole situation she's describing in this hypothetical situation is basically about her allegedly, according to her, being in the middle of Kenya and Porsha. And I personally don't feel like necessarily they're putting her in the middle as much as she is inserting herself in this whole Bolo situation. And I feel like something that Drew says later on in the episode is that Marlo wants to be friends with Kenya so bad that she is willing to use this whole Bolo situation in order to justify her friendship with Kenya. And she doesn't need to do that. Brittany Wright, thank you for the super chat, who says Marlo is messy and seems to want to be on Kenya's good side so bad. So for me, I just kind of feel like, Marlo, I mean, you need to either step up to the plate and be for real, and just simply say, yo, like, listen, I mean, this is where I'm at right now. I'm really trying to rock with, finding out what's going on in this room with, was you doing something in the room with Bolo? Because that's really all I care about. I don't really care about my friendship with you, Porsha, because that's how it's coming across, okay? She is the one who is calling everybody else fake, but I feel like it's kind of Marlo who's being fake. And y'all know I have been rocking for Marlo getting a peach all season. And Marlo is one of my favorite people, but I just kind of feel like I don't understand how she's moving. And how are you calling everybody else fake and phony? But I feel like you the person that's not even being real in this situation. Because quiet as it's kept, even though I'm annoyed with Kenya for continuing to bring up this Bolo conversation, I'm really more annoyed with Marlo because at least Kenya is straight up and real with it and in your face, like, this is what I'm doing. I got questions about it. I think you lying, this, that, and the third. But Marlo, I feel like she's trying to play both sides of the fence, and I don't really like that. If you're going to move in one direction, stay in that direction and move that way. But don't try to play these two ladies against each other, because I feel like that's what she's doing. And she's doing it under the guise that they're the ones who are being fake, when what she really means is that she just don't believe Porsha. That's it. Tina's, thank you for the super chat. Congratulations, Richie, on your nuptials. I appreciate you. Okay, so we got that going on. So Frida is like, well, I don't really like confrontation, so I don't really know what I would do in that situation. Marlo says that she wants to be treated the same as usual, but since she's moving funny, and she says that she doesn't want to lose either one of their friendships. Now, a part of me kind of feels like she doesn't necessarily want to lose either friendship, but I do feel like she's willing to throw her friendship with Porsha under the bus in order to, get in good with Kenya. And again, I don't feel like she has to do that. Cynthia doesn't need to do that, and Kandi don't need to do that either. Okay, so I just feel like there's great examples here of women who can rock with Kenya and also be cool with Porsha, and there's no issue amongst them, right? Anyway, Porsha basically asked if Marlo is using this hypothetical situation to talk about her, okay? And she says that she feels awkward. Kenya then says that she didn't accuse Porsha of anything. And I was thinking to myself, now wait a minute. But you've been accusing her of sleeping with Bolo this the entire time. So what do you mean that you haven't accused her of anything? I didn't really get that. Did y'all hear her say that? Because I remember writing it down like, now what? Now say what now? Say what now? Say what now? Because, let's be real about it. You did. You are accusing her. And in the next breath, you're still going to accuse her. So I didn't understand why she said that, okay? Kandi interjects then and basically tells Marlo, this issue between Kenya and Porsha has nothing to do with you, okay? Marlo feels like they both have her in an uncomfortable position. And then she storms off calling them fake bees, okay? Everybody's a fake B in this situation. You a fake B, you a fake B, here fake, there fake, everywhere fake. Everybody's a fake B. She's so busy calling people fake Bs that she can't even exit stage right correctly, okay? She's exiting out the wrong door, and she has to come back through with some more fake Bs talking about, and I F's with Porsha too. And then that's when we get Porsha saying, you do not F with me. You do not F with me. In that moment, Porsha gave me a little bit of Nene. Okay, if that was a real Nene, you don't F with me. I felt a little bit of mini Nene up in that situation in my spirit. I don't know if y'all felt it too. Did y'all feel it? I don't know. Anyway, now Drew feels like Marlo doesn't want to lose Kenya as a friend again, and by any means necessary, she's going to do what she can to keep the friendship. I pretty much feel like that's the same assessment that I have. So Drew and Kenya and LaToya follow Marlo out. Now, Drew is trying to keep her there. Kenya, I believe, is there for moral support, and so is LaToya. Marlo ends up leaving, basically saying that someone's lying, and basically she feels like it's Porsha, okay? So I think at that point, LaToya also leaves as well. Now, when Kenya comes back to the table, she explains how hurt Marlo is by Porsha. And Porsha's like, don't say my name, keep your name out your mouth. And then, Kenya's like, Porsha. And Kandi's like, what difference does it make who slept with Bolo? Like, what difference does it really make? And I feel like that's the question so many of us have been asking since that episode aired. Why are we still talking about this weeks later? Okay, I don't understand. Tina Rogers says, congratulations on the nuptials. Also, Marlo is wishy-washy, trying to stay relevant, and true friends are not that much work. You are absolutely correct with that. And then Kenya finally says, well, it's not going to make a difference in my life. So why are we still talking about it? I don't understand. If it really is not going to make a difference in your life, if it's not your poo nani nani, why does it matter? Who cares? Obviously, the girl is not going to admit whether she did or she did not. At the end of the day, if you know you're not going to get a real response from her, or at least a response that is suitable for you, and you feel like you know what happened, okay, cool. You just know what happened and that's it. But I feel like what she's trying to do, it doesn't really make sense and it's not resonating. It ain't hitting the way I feel like she think it's hitting on the show. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like as a viewer, we tired of the situation. It ain't really nothing else left to talk about. I feel like Cynthia tired of the situation. Kandi tired of the situation. And I don't really understand why Kandi or Cynthia just don't really shut it down. Like, girl, it's time to move on to something new, okay? We rocking with you, but let's move on to something else, because this ain't really the storyline that I feel like it's not giving what we wanted to give, okay? That's kind of how I feel. Anyway, you get Porsha and Kenya going at it about, Porsha's, basically mocking Kenya, like, yeah, I did everybody in the Charleston, my punani was wide open, yada, 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 okay? Kandi then says, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What's the solution? What would bring an end to this whole situation? And finally, Kenya is like, I don't know. I do. Stop talking about it. Let it go. Let this go, Elsa. Let it go. There's nothing else to do with this whole situation. We can move on. There are much more exciting things to talk about. And Kenya has much more exciting things going on in her actual life that she could actually bring to the forefront, because that's what we really want to see. Okay? That's what we want to see. We want to see what's going on with Mark. I want to see more of Shay. I want to see more of, is she still, does she miss Aunt Lori? I mean, that's what I want to see. Andrew says, thank you for the super chat. Says Marlo should have never got back friends with Kenya. Kenya is loyal to no one. This is all because Kenya is jealous of Porsha. Thank you for that super chat. So they get back to the hotel. Kandi wants to have a one-on-one with Marlo. And lo and behold, she gotta have a one-on-one with Marlo now, because guess what? Kandi about to leave and they don't know this yet. So anyway, Kandi feels like it's something deeper happening with Marlo, and quiet as it's kept, I do too, but we don't know exactly what that is yet. But as we saw in that good preview, now I think we kind of understand why her back might allegedly have been hurting all season long, okay? Or at least during this trip, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, Marlo still feels like she would not be in this situation if she wasn't friends with Kenya. Kandi tells her that's not true. I don't think that's true either. I think you can be friends with two people who do not get along and still rock with both of them while throwing neither one of them under the bus, okay? Now, the entire basis for Marlo's issue is that she says that she does not want to be friends with a liar. I'm calling BS on this, okay? Now, Kandi tells her both ladies gave her answers. It's just that she didn't like what she heard from one or two of the ladies, and that it was not her punani, so why does it matter to her, okay? Then, after Kandi makes this very astute observation with Marlo, Marlo goes right back to it and says, but you know what happened, Kandi. You know. What happened? What did you hear? Who was it? Give me the answers on camera, okay? That's what she basically wants. And so she also asked Kandi, do you feel like Porsha's a liar? Okay. And so Kandi has to acquiesce and says, yes. In our past history, I do feel like Porsha has lied before. Okay. So she finally gets Kandi to say on camera she feels like Porsha has a history of lying. Okay. So then the next day, we get Al Roker back on the screen and he telling us the storm is not over now, okay? The storm is not over now. It is still going down to the New Orleans. Hurricane Zeta is still going full force, okay? So LaToya goes to Kenya's room and she tells her that Porsha has left. And Kenya's like, oh, okay. In my mind, I felt like Kenya was kind of like, oh, dang, what we gonna do now? Because ain't gonna be nothing to talk about if Porsha not there, because that's all they was talking about anyway, okay? So then LaToya tells her that, Porsha had left Shamia, okay? Oh, Shay D, thank you for the super chat. Shay D says, many congratulations to Richie Skye on your wonderful news. Marlo was all the way wrong in this episode. Regards from the UK. Thank you so much for that super chat. LaToya tells Kenya that, Porsha left Shamia. We also learned that Kandi left too, okay? Kandi had got up out of there. She said, I will not be stuck here with y'all in the storm. Peace out, deuces. And she ain't tell nobody. She was just like, I'm out. I'm gone. Poof. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of like, I can't be mad at it because she looking out for herself. She looking out for her best interest. She got an early call time the next day, and she was not trying to be playing around with no storm after RHOA then told him that the thing was coming, okay? So she said, I got to go, okay? She boot scoot and boogie her way on back to Atlanta to sunnier pastures, okay? So Kenya's a little bit annoyed because Kandi didn't even tell her she was leaving. I'm like, that was shade. Anyway, Drew goes to Cynthia's room and she tells her that Shamia told her that Porsha also went back to Atlanta. Now, then we get a scene with Marlo, Cynthia, and Kenya, and they confront Marlo about her calling everybody fake bees. Now, Marlo says at this point in time, I'm going to blame it on the alcohol. I'm going to blame it on the Patron, okay? I am blaming that on the drink, okay? I had 1 too many to drink, too many shots, and I was talking that stuff. You know what I'm saying? She says that she was frustrated because she was tired of being asked by the Bolo situation. But the only people asking you about the Bolo situation, actually you are the only one asking yourself and other people about the Bolo situation. So Marlo, you're not making no sense to me right now. You're not making no sense, boo-boo. You're not making no sense. I don't understand it. You claim that everybody's asking you about Bolo, but you're the one who is asking everybody else about Bolo. I don't get it. It don't make not a lick of sense. So Kenya finally says, she finally says it, y'all. She finally says it. She finally has the realization that we have all come to so far, so many days and months and weeks ago. She finally has the resolution in her heart. And she finally says, so here we are. I don't care about this situation anymore. It's pulling everyone down in this rabbit hole with Porsha. No, Kenya. The only people who are in this rabbit hole are you and Marlo. No one else is in the rabbit hole with you. No one else cares about it. No one else wants to talk about the situation anymore. We're all done with it. Let it go. Let's close the rabbit hole. Let's put the dirt back in the hole. You know what I'm saying? It's over. We can let it go. Okay, let it go. And so Cynthia says, praise God. Okay, praise God. And she's like, it's time to wrap this whole thing up. Now, she didn't say storyline, but I felt like she was one step away from saying, "What? It's time for us to wrap this storyline up." And she basically says, we're going to talk about and focus on something else, okay? We're going to talk about and focus and bring it up on talking about something else at this point because it's a wrap. It's done. Whew. Anyway, so they hungry, right? And then they discover that the food is in Drew's room, so they got to go get the food. So they leave Marlo in the room, and then the lights go out, okay? RHOA had been trying to tell them earlier, okay, 2 days ago, actually, that the hurricane was coming, but nobody left except Kandi and Porsha. They had got to get on. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, the lights go out and down to the New Orleans, okay? And that's basically a wrap on the trip. They got to pack in the dark in order to get back to sunny Atlanta. And when they get back to sunny Atlanta, yes, it is indeed sunny, okay? So Drew's in the hot tub with Ralph. They're getting it popping up in that new house. You know what I'm saying? Candy's on the set of her new movie Envy with Clifton Powell. She getting acting advice from him. Kenya and Shay is back. I like cousin Shay. I feel like, cousin Shay is somebody that I feel like Kenya needs to film more with. because I like those scenes with her and her family. To me, Kenya is much more interesting when she's actually engaged in family dynamics, because we don't really see a lot of that with her. We get a lot of that with, Kandi, a lot of that with Porsha, a lot of that with Drew this season, and a lot of that with Cynthia, especially with the wedding stuff. So it's nice to see Kenya, in an element with her family, because I do feel like, Shay. All right, so we get Porsha going over to Cynthia's house. They're celebrating the election results and Georgia turning blue. Porsha and Cynthia have a good time together. I like seeing them interacting together. I like seeing them cut up and have fun. They're about to promote the Black Business Pop-Up Shop. Now, we talked about this, I think, last fall. You guys may recall the initial time that they were going to actually have the pop-up, somebody had ended up catching, maybe the panorama. Okay, somebody in the, I think they said it was somebody on production had caught the panorama. So they ended up having to push the, pop-up shop to a later time. I don't know if they're going to actually address that during filming, but we do at least get to see them making the promo for it after the 540th take, okay? So then they recap New Orleans and Porsha leaving. She says she was just over it. Cynthia was embarrassed that all of that happened in front of Big Frida. And in my mind, I'm like, well, why don't you ever just shut these conversations down? I mean, I feel like Cynthia was just kind of like a deer caught in headlights. But I guess if she said, well, this ain't involving me and I'm not going to involve myself in it, I'm fine. I'm going to sit here, get paid, eat my booty popping potatoes, and I'm going to look good with my high cheekbones. That's what she said. Okay? Porsha feels like Marlo just isn't her type of friend anymore. She feels like Marlo is only looking out for herself. And Cynthia feels like Marlo is in a lot of pain. Now, I understand why Porsha is not here for this argument, because a lot of people are going through a lot of different things, but that never gives another person an opportunity, the right to sort of lash out at other people. So I don't really buy that excuse either, but I do feel like Marlo is going through something. We just don't know what it is yet, okay? We don't know what it is, but I could be wrong, okay? I could definitely be wrong. Side note, I know that Marlo did hold on for a second. Thank you for the super chat, Hands to Spare, who says congratulations. And I want to tell you that you are classy and a true mental role model and life coach for up and coming YouTubers. I try my hardest, I really do. I want everybody to win. I want everybody to win and have a good time, okay? So anyway, Porsha's not buying that excuse. I feel like something's going on with Marlo. Hopefully we'll find out more about it. I know she did an interview with, I believe it was someone from the Jasmine brand. I'm not really sure. I'm going to dive into that hopefully when I get a chance to tomorrow when I get back home. But right now, I just wanted to give you guys the tea on what's going on with that episode specifically. So tomorrow we'll discuss everything else surrounding the episode, like any tweets, any appearances on, interviews and talk shows and stuff like that. So we'll touch on that later, okay? Kandi ends up calling Cynthia and Porsha, and we learned that she's going to be doing a soft opening of Blaze, the new restaurant, okay? It's going to be a soft opening / tasting. And then we find out that it's basically later that night. Now, Drew and Ralph show up to that event in somewhat matching outfits. And I couldn't understand what was going on with Drew's pants. I didn't really know what was happening with him. But, at the end of the day, what I did realize in this moment, for some reason, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I really like Drew for this franchise. I feel like she has definitely been bringing some interesting and good energy. I may not always understand her actions, and I may not always understand the things that Ralph does with her in terms of their marriage and how it plays out on the screen, but I like the two of them on this show for some reason. Anyway, the rest of the ladies arrive and we get Mama Joyce back on the scene. We ain't seen Mama Joyce in a long time. I miss the days, low-key, of Mama Joyce going off on people. I just miss it. Mama Joyce gave us something to talk about, and I really kind of need that energy back in this season. And it would be nice to see Mama Joyce back in action and mixing it up with the ladies, okay? Kenya and Marlo arrive, and Marlo's like, hi, Shamia, hi, Porsha. Porsha's like, I'm not feeling you today, girl. I'm not feeling you. She felt like that's fake. And I kind of feel like it's a little fake too, because I'm like, for somebody who is so interested in or not interested in fakery, it seems like she herself in that moment was being fake, okay? And again, I don't blame, we got a super chat, Sheila's Fashion Closet. Hope everyone had a great Easter. Love these lives, Richie. Thank you so much. I think that this has less to do with Kenya, and I think it has more to do with Marlo. I just feel like Marlo is, again, I just question the way she's moving. And to be quite honest with you, and again, this is, when I talk about these people, please note, I'm not talking about real life. I'm talking about how they move on the show. So I want to make that a clear distinction for people who may be watching this. So I want you to understand the context for which I'm talking about their actions. I feel like if I'm Kenya, I would also still have to give Marlo a little bit of a side eye, because if she can move that way so easily with Porsha, what makes me think that she would not move that way eventually when it came to me? Okay? That's how I would be looking at the situation if I was Kenya. Different Time says, new cast needed, sick of the same antics. Thank you for that super chat. So I just think that you kind of have to be wary of how people move when they move suddenly like that, and they move, even if it's in your favor. You kind of got to look at, hey, well, how you treated that person, you did that real easily to them. How do I know that you're not going to do that to me in the future when it suits your purposes? That's why you got to understand, like, I'm kind of like, Marlo, I'm disappointed, because at least the way it looks on camera and on this show, it looks like you moving real, like, I don't like it. I don't like it, not one bit. Because the other thing is this, even if you feel like Porsha is lying, do you really think that she's going to tell you on camera whether or not she did anything with him in that room? I can understand you being curious, and I can understand you wanting to have a real friend moment with your friend, but if that's actually your friend, I'm not going to have that conversation with you on camera if I know that you feel like it might be damaging for you. I'm going to have it with you off camera, because I feel like that's what a real G does at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. That's just my opinion on the situation. What matters more is, what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts about it. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Wallace Gray, thank you for the super chat, who says, can you move sideways all the time? I appreciate that super chat. Real quick, for those who wanted to know, yes, I did get married. It was on the beach on Saturday morning. It was 4321 at 1234 at 12:34 p.m. It was a nice ceremony, very small. Everybody was socially, distanced or whatever. So it was a nice little thing. And I'm appreciative to everybody for the well wishes. And I appreciate you guys for always supporting and rocking with the channel as well. That's all we got for y'all today. I am headed back to DC today, so we'll commence with regular videos in our regular space. Although I do like this little background right here. It did serve a great purpose. But we'll be back to regularly scheduled videos and lives come tomorrow. I will catch you guys in the next video. Love y'all.